What is going on, party people? Welcome back to the Pepper and Salt Podcast. I'm Barrett. If you haven't been here before, we got Justin with us in the middle, and we got Gideon at the bottom this time.
What's up?
I'm
What's up?
not.
What's up?
There's look the cameras are not any indication of how we rank. Okay, it's just completely random. Sometimes we put Justin at the bottom, sometimes we get Gideon at the bottom, but I'm always at the top every time. So welcome back. First off, thanks so much for all the likes, subscriptions. Like, you guys are killing it, spreading the word. We're getting a ton more people watching, and it's awesome. And we really appreciate everything from you guys. So we wanted to start this podcast out. We've had a ton of comments on our videos. And so we wanted to start out with kind of like a new segment where we're going to kind of pick some stuff out of the comments that you guys are asking us about. And we're all going to answer those questions and kind of talk about those topics. So definitely keep leaving the comments. So I'll kind of start this one off. So Beat is he asked as far as Will Levis, what our opinions of Will Levis were, and if we think he's going to start this year. And thanks a lot for the comment again. So I feel like Will Levis, as far as just overall quality, I think Will Levis has got a ton of upside. I said it previously, but I think where they drafted him, they got a ton of value there. I think it's absolutely insane. I've seen people on Twitter talking about, hey, let's dump Ryan Tannehill, let's dump Derrick Henry, let's start Levis now. I don't see it, man. I think the Titans got too much quality to do that. I definitely think Levis has got the skill just from the little bit I've seen. I think he's definitely got the skill to beat Willis in that battle for that backup spot. Um, and with Tannehill's injury history lately, do I think Levis will probably play some this year? Absolutely. I definitely think at some point he will probably hit the field. What that looks like, that's a good question. I don't know. I think he's got all the tools to do it. I definitely think he's kind of coming out the gate with the way he's talking to the media to show me that he's going to be a good leader. But as far as him starting, I don't think there's no way to me he beats Tannehill out for this job. I don't think there's any way. I think the Titans want Tannehill to win this job. I think they want Tannehill to play. And so I don't think there's any way that he beats out Tannehill for the job. I don't think that's how he gets to the field. To me, the only way Levis hits the field is if Tannehill's injured or if there's some other kind of failure there on Tannehill's part. It's his job to lose. I mean, ultimately, he would have to fail pretty bad in my eyes to be able to lose that job. Gideon, I'll go to you. How do you feel about Will Levis, and do you think he potentially could start this year?
I think Will Levis will definitely see the field. I'm with you with that. I think he'll definitely get an opportunity with like a Tannehill injury or Tannehill just not playing very good like he usually does. I really do think that we'll see Will Levis. I think Will Levis. I think from what I've seen from Will Levis has been pretty hyped up by the media. We're seeing him throw at the OTAs. We're seeing him. He's been asked a lot of questions in the press conference and stuff like that. So I mean, from everything that I've seen out of Will Levis is positive. So I think we'll definitely see him play. What the production looks like, what he does out there, that you just gotta see. We just gotta see. But I think we'll definitely see him out there.
Yeah, good question. I mean, I don't know like what Willis looks like either. You know what I mean? Like, he seems like he's kind of gotten a little more confidence just from looking at him in OTAs too. But Justin, where are you at with Will Levis? You think he starts this year? Or?
Let me tell you something. Will Levis is legit. Okay, he is legit, and I'm going to say this. And I don't want to hurt your feelings, Barry. But Ryan Tannehill is going to get benched by week 5. All right, week 5 he's going to be benched. Week 5, he's a mid QB. Okay, he's not that good. Will Levis has a lot of course, he's had a little bit of growing up to do, especially in NFL. The pace between college and NFL is completely different. It's a lot more faster paced than NFL, but I think he's going to adapt really well, and I think he's going to start by week 6.
Week 6, okay.
Yeah,
That's an interesting take. Take. So I'm going to move on to Justin. So Justin's got a comment. He's going to roll through this one, and we'll all kind of chip in on it and see how we feel about it.
Well, my comment was from Ray, and he said, "How will Dak lead the Cowboys? And what's my opinions on Dak and with the Cowboys this year? How they're going to do?" I already said before, I think the Cowboys can be 14-3, and I'm still sticking to it. All right. So how will Dak do this year? Dak Prescott is going to be in the conversation for the league MVP this year. All right, let that sink in.
I'm trying to.
All right, so the Cowboys have a great defense to back up Dak Prescott, and then you got an insane wide receiver core, and you have two really great running backs in Deuce Staley and Tony Pollard. So you got wide receiver core. You got Lamb, you got Gallup, you got Cooks, and then you got the running back for the Pollard and Deuce. Now, what Dak needs to do, he needs to be more accurate. He needs to more be careful with the ball because he does a lot of stupid things with the ball. All right. He does a lot of stupid things, and he needs to concentrate on making smarter decisions with the ball. If he does that, he can help lead his team to an NFC Championship and the Super Bowl. All right. But we got to see what they're going to do with this new offensive coordinator, Brian Schottenmeier, I think his name is. And also, man, Dak, what he needs to do, he needs to step up his game, and he needs to shut the Cowboy haters up. That's what he needs to do.
Okay. I respect it. Gideon, where are you at on Dak Prescott and the Cowboys?
I'll start off with this. Dak in the MVP conversation will never happen in his life. That's never going to happen. Dak will never be in the MVP conversation. And I'm not even a Dak hater. I would say I'm probably higher on Dak Prescott than most Cowboys fans are. And I'm not even a Cowboys fan. I would say this. I like Dak Prescott. I think Dak Prescott is a good leader. I'll never say he's not a good leader. I think he's a good leader for the Cowboys. I think he's a perfect Dallas Cowboy quarterback. He's very much like Tony Romo, in my opinion. Dak Prescott is not a Patrick Mahomes. Dak Prescott is not a Joe Burrow. He's not going to get you there. He's not going to get you there. I think the Cowboys will be all right. Probably like 10-7, something like that. Is probably what they'll go. It won't be because of Dak Prescott. I've seen Dak Prescott fumble away so many games. I've seen him win some games too, but I've seen him fumble away some games more than I've seen him go out there and perform. I'm not even a Dak Prescott hater. I'm just being realistic. Dak Prescott will never be close to the MVP conversation, ever. Not even close. He won't even be in the top 5. I mean, I need to see it to believe it with the Cowboys. The Cowboys always start off strong, and then they kind of they'll lose to the Jags last year and ever since and then they'll just get bounced out of the playoffs. So I need to see it to believe it for the Cowboys and for Dak Prescott.
I'm kind of with Gideon on this. I mean, I'm not as aggressively a hater of Dak Prescott as Gideon is, but I do think that there's something to be said for the amount of times that Dak's had the opportunities to show that he's that next level elite quarterback. I don't see it. It's not there. The amount of times that you're put in the position to take your team to that next level and you can't make it, right? So, to me, I'm sure there's tons of upside with Dak, and I think the issue is the Cowboys have cornered themselves at this point. They can't get rid of him. Because is there a better option out there? Probably not. But I think if this team's going to succeed, like you said, it's going to be on the back of that defense. It's not going to be Dak. I mean, I think if Dak can just not make mistakes, the Cowboys could be successful. But he seems like he always makes mistakes at the worst, most inopportune time, right? Every time. That is always that late interception, that game-winning drive, or that fumble because he's trying to do too much. If he would just take a step back and know that all he has to do is manage this offense to make them successful, I think Dak could be successful. But I definitely don't think he's in the MVP race because I think there's way too many horses ahead of him. Way too many horses ahead of him. Yeah. And I think he just needs to play within himself. Know that you're a good quarterback, but you're not the type of quarterback that's going to put the team on your shoulders and take it to the end, right? You've got a ton of tools around you. Just manage the game. If he can manage a game, he'll be successful. If he tries to be that guy and be Himothy and go out there and win every game, they're in trouble. I mean, I'll put it that way. Ask the Jets. They had a great defense last year. Couldn't score no points. I mean, it's, it is what it is. But definitely I think that it's going to be up to Dak. Their success will hinge on him. If he can learn to limit the mistakes, like you said, they'll be fine. Now their division is probably the toughest it's ever been. I mean, they're having to roll with the Giants. They're having to roll with Philly. That coming out of that division is going to be tough. And to be honest, I think whoever comes out of that division's got to win it. I don't think you're getting a wild card if you're in that division. You're not going to come out of that division second and come out of there with a wild card. You're going to have to win the division. So we'll see how that plays out, but I definitely think it's the ball's in Dak's court, but he's got to limit the mistakes, like you said. Definitely got to limit the mistakes. Gideon, I know you've got a comment on yours, so let's roll into your comment about the Seahawks.
Yeah, I got one from Jamie Jean. He was asking me my opinions on Geno Smith and how I feel like he'll play this year, and that's a great question just around this time because I see Geno Smith get disrespected on ESPN. I see him get disrespected by Seahawks fans. I see him get disrespected, and I see it, and I'm here for it because we weren't expecting Geno. He got disrespected last year. Look at what he put up. Now give him a full off season, more weapons. There's no way. There's absolutely no way we see him go down and play this year. We added JSN. We got another running back. We got running back depth now. There's so much stuff in Geno's favor, but he just has to keep up the production. He has to play the same way, if not better, which I think he can. And I'm excited to see how Geno plays. Hopefully, he doesn't let the contract get to his head. He got a bag now. He got the money that he rightfully deserved after that season, and hopefully, he can continue to play because he doesn't have to do much. He doesn't have to do much for us to be successful. We have the weapons. We have the run game. We're starting to build this defense back to where it was. He really doesn't have to do that much. He has to be a game manager. He has us to manage the clock, and we're good. He has to do the exact opposite of Dak Prescott, and we're going to the playoffs. I'm going to throw that out there.
Wow.
So I'm excited to see how we do this season. I think Geno Smith is definitely going to prove that he should be ranked higher than 19. And I'm excited to see. I'm excited to see it.
Yeah, so I think the fear with Geno is the regression, right? Because how long was Geno a backup quarterback? Holy crap. Forever, right? He came into the league and it seemed like in 2 years he was a backup. And even when he was a starter at his beginning of his career, he wasn't that good. So, the fear for me is the regression. Definitely, like you said, the pieces are around him. Man, that receiving core is insane. Their running backs are insane. They're stacked out there. And I think Seattle's going to do very well. But my fear is the regression and also the film on them, right? Now that teams have had a whole year to see film on him, whereas you really didn't have that much film on him before he's a backup. So that's the other thing. Our defense is going to be able to adjust and find chinks in his armor and in his gameplay to be able to kind of find his weaknesses and scheme against them more than they could last year. So that would be my fear. But Justin, how do you feel about Geno Smith and the Seahawks?
Well, I love the Geno story. Back up for a while, got his shot, succeeded, and yet again he got the money that he deserved, and I think he's going to do great this year. I don't think he's going to be. I think that the Seahawks will go to the playoffs. I think they're going to win their division because of Geno Smith. I mean, he has too many offensive weapons not to. And then they just added another person on the defense. I think it was a cornerback, I do believe, from the draft. And I think that's going to help him on maybe it's the second coming of the Legion of Boom. I don't know. But
there we go.
But I do think they're going to the playoffs. And they're going to go far into the playoffs, I do believe. And then, I mean, Geno's going to do great this year, though. I love him.
Oh, that's the most accurate thing he said. He said in a minute.
Yeah, most accurate.
Sounds like he's jumping in on that bandwagon pretty quick.
The first comment I made was accurate about Dak.
You got your bandwagon guy already. He's ready, man. He's ready for that jersey change pretty quick.
Wow, no.
All right, boys. So we're gonna shift topics here. So I want to start out with these NFL rule changes. Because there's two in particular that are super interesting. So first off, I'm gonna kind of flip. So first off, third QB. I love this. I mean, I think that this is absolutely something that should have been done forever ago. Um, even though you do so much to protect the QB, ask San Francisco what happens when you run out of QBs. You lose in the playoffs, which was absolutely trash. That was terrible. I hated it. I was like, this is horrible. Um, like you had that ultimate matchup. You finally got the two teams, and then bam, injuries take all the quarterbacks out of the game. You got Christian McCaffrey playing quarterback now. Like, what the heck is going on? I love this rule personally. I think it's awesome that you got a third QB and that they don't count as a roster spot, which is amazing. Justin, how do you feel about this third QB spot? Do you think it's a good idea, or where do you stand on this?
Yeah, I think it's a good idea, especially with, like you said, with the 49ers last year in the playoffs, man, because actually throughout the season, I mean, this quarterback after quarterback is getting hurt. And, what if you don't have any more QBs? Who's going to throw the ball? And they got that mercy QB now that, if both your the starter and the backup gets injured, then you have that third QB. But also, I think it's going to be a really good opportunity for other players to come in for QB and give them an opportunity. If by God something like that happens again, they have that opportunity to go in there and make something out of that opportunity. Maybe they get traded to a different team. Maybe they get signed by a different team. Whatever it is. So it's a really good opportunity for QBs that didn't get drafted or a late round draft pick or something like that. So it'd be a really good opportunity for them. That's what I like about it.
I like that. It's a good point. Gideon, how do you feel about this third QB spot, man?
I'll break it down like this: Trey Lance, Jimmy G, Brock Purdy, Tremaine Johnson in the playoff game. It's possible to go through that many quarterbacks. I feel like it's necessary to have that many because you just never football. I mean, even look at the Dolphins. Tua got hurt like 3 times in one season. I mean, like injuries happen. It's a part of the game. I think that's a rule that definitely should be applied. I love that rule. Having that many quarterbacks on a team also makes that backup kind of play a little bit harder. There's a guy behind you. There's a guy behind you. So
that's true.
I like that. I like that rule change. I really hope that happens because I really like that one. I think it's very beneficial for the teams.
Okay. Yeah, I'm like I said, I didn't see anything negative about that one. Now this next rule change, this one's this one's catching some flack for sure. So the next one is the kickoff. So apparently they have changed the rule for kickoffs to where you can fair catch this ball anywhere inside the 25 and you get the ball on the 25 like a touchback. Coaches are absolutely hating this rule, like livid about it. Apparently this was definitely not going to pass. And then Roger Goodell got in a room with enough owners that he got this thing to pass somehow. But I've heard like Andy Reid commenting on this, Dan Campbell commenting on this. Andy Reid's basically his comment amounted to we need to be careful because we're going to turn this into touch football. Dan Campbell was not a fan at all. He said he hated the rule, which that's not surprising. He's pretty outspoken about most things. The NFL stance on this is it's player safety issue. The coach's stance on this is how we can advance the football, right? And it's also a way to give players opportunities on special teams. Whereas if you're just giving them a free kick, a free spot on the 25-yard line, why is anybody ever going to run it out at that point? Gideon, I'll start with you on this one. Where do you stand on this, and what do you think is more important? Do you think the game is more important or player safety as far as this is concerned?
Well, okay. When I first saw it, I was like, "This is definitely a player safety thing." But I was thinking in my head, if you're fair catching it anyway, the play's dead. So why, if a kicker is kicking it off, and he's getting it inside the 10, it's his hard work just ripped away because the guy fair catched it. I feel like it's weird. I feel like we're not going to see that many returns because why would you even risk it? You're going to go to the 25. It's basically a touchback. I mean, I feel like I don't know how he got in a room with these people and convinced them that this is a good idea. I feel like it's taking away opportunities from the players. There's no safety. There's nothing different. I don't understand what the safety is. No one can tell me what's different. If I was in the 10, I go like this. The play's dead. You can't be hit anyway, but you're just at the 10. So what's the difference between moving from the 10 to the 25? It doesn't really make any sense to me. I feel like it's kind of dumb. I guess we'll just see how it plays.
Yeah. Justin, where are you at on this one, man?
Well, first off, I do not like this. As a fan, I do not like this. As someone, as a human being, I guess I kind of understand it for player safety, but the kickoff returns are like single-handedly the most exciting part about this game. I mean, just think about like Devin Hester and all the great. Was it Gwen? I think his name is Gwen Jr. I mean, all those great kickoff returns, and they should go to the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
They weren't. I would say they're not really that great of wide receivers, but they made their names off of the kickoff returns and the punt returns and all that, and they should rightfully go to the Hall of Fame. And players don't have the opportunity to go to the Hall of Fame if they go, when they do the special teams. So I think they're taking the excitement out of the game for me. Yeah, I guess about the player safety, I understand that, but why don't they do something like the XFL? Maybe,
Yeah.
that's a player. They adjusted it so there'll be player safety, and everybody seemed to like it. Even the NFL people are starting to like it, or at least talking about it. So, yeah, that's my opinion on it. This, why take the single handedly most exciting part of the game out?
Yeah, and I think my thing is like, if that's the rule, then why don't you just put the ball in the 25?
Yeah,
Be done with it.
Yeah.
Why are we even kicking the ball?
yeah,
Like, it's just silly. And also, if you're that concerned about player safety, punts are just as dangerous as kickoffs.
Yep.
It's the same situation, right?
mm-hmm.
If you're really that concerned about it, yes, we talked about this in a previous podcast, but the XFL kickoff is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
It's exciting. They're only 10 yards away from each other, so it's basically like a normal play as far as blocking is concerned.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody can just tee off on somebody. There's less injuries with it because it's just a normal play. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, and nobody can start blocking until that dude catches the ball in the XFL. So, but yeah, I mean, I hate it, dude. I think that you have a ton of guys that get looked at just as kick returners.
Mm-hmm.
And so what are those guys now? They're nothing. Like, those guys that are kick returners, you're just going to get a random person to catch the ball and take a knee and take your ball to 25. And all these dudes that had the opportunity to make a team and be in the league are out now. And I think you're right. You're losing a ton of excitement because kick returners are like some of the most exciting dudes out there, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
a dude that can go 99 yards and score you a touchdown in one play. Like, and these kickoffs have like changed playoff games, right? Like, look
Right.
at the Chiefs, right? They had to get a kickoff return to get a touchdown to stay in the playoffs. So I don't know, man. I hate it. I mean, I think there's a certain risk that you're taking when you play football. And I think you just can't, there's not enough bubble wrap rules that you can put in here. The game's never going to be 100% safe. And I think that's part of the appeal. Like, I don't want anybody to get hurt, but I think that's part of the excitement of football, right? Like, if you want a sport where you're not going to get injured, go watch golf or something. Like, it's, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
It's not, I mean, that's part of it. Like, it's just part of the sport. So I don't know, man. I don't know about that player safety angle. I think it's kind of crazy. So
Why even have kick returners if we just catch the ball and fair catch it? Why even
yeah,
have kick returners?
that's what I'm saying. I think
You get
like
those
if this
opportunities
is
away from those people.
if this is your rule, just put the ball at the 25.
Yeah,
Like when you kick the extra point, come back to the other 25, put the ball down, start playing.
yeah.
Because there's no point in the kickoff at this point. If that's what you're doing, there's no point in even kicking the ball.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, moving past that, I definitely those are the only two rules I heard about. So I think those are really the only two like major rule changes. Um, so we're gonna get into a couple of um lists that we saw, just kind of out there on Twitter. I'm gonna start with Dan Orlovsky. He had a top 5 QBs under pressure list from ESPN. And I wanted to kind of run through this with you guys and see what you guys think and see where you guys think these QBs are and if there's other QBs that should be on this list. So um, Dan Orlovsky's got Jordan Love is the most like number one on the list for most under pressure. It's got Justin Fields is number 2, Daniel Jones is number 3, Dak Prescott's on the list, and then Kyler Murray. Um, so I'll kind of start with this one. I definitely think that Jordan Love is probably under the most pressure. Um, you're replacing Aaron Rodgers, dude. Like you're never gonna. I mean, come on, man. That's a big bill to live up to right there. Um, but I definitely agree. I mostly agree with this list. I mean, I think Justin Fields is under a ton of pressure. That team went out and got a bunch of weapons for him. And so I think he's got to succeed this year. I definitely think that with the amount of capital they spent and the tools that they got him, he's got to succeed. Um, Daniel Jones just got that contract. Definitely think he's probably. I mean, I don't think he's on the hot seat, but I definitely think there's pressure there because he's been paid. They got a ton of weapons. They went and got um, the tight end from the Raiders. Like they're stacked. I mean, they're like stacked out on offense. So if that thing fails, it's probably on him, 100%. Dak Prescott, we talked about that earlier. Um, I think with Jerry Jones, there's always pressure, right? Always. I mean, it like don't matter who the QB is, it don't matter what year it is. They could be coming fresh off a Super Bowl, and there'd still be pressure in Dallas to perform. And then Kyler Murray, there's a new coach there. I don't know if there's a ton of pressure there, just because I think that Kyler Murray just got paid not too long ago. He's coming off a knee injury. So I think he's kind of got an out, right? Like
Yeah.
if he doesn't perform, there's an excuse there. Gideon, where are you at on this list and kind of how do you feel it's going to shake out?
I like the list. I feel like all the quarterbacks besides Kyler Murray for me, I have a lot of pressure on them. Me personally, I would switch Daniel Jones and Jordan Love together. And this is the reason why, because Daniel Jones is getting paid like he's the guy. Last year, he sometimes played like he was the guy, sometimes he didn't play like he was the guy. Now they went out and got Darren Waller, one of the best tight ends in football, and they were in the playoffs last year. So they're only looking to go up. And we really need to see if Daniel Jones is that guy. I'm still not saying he's completely that guy, but I mean, we'll see. Jordan Love, I feel like he's going to be under a decent amount of pressure as well. But I don't know if he doesn't do that well this season, I still feel like Green Bay resigns him. I feel like that's the guy they're just going to stick with. And that's just how I feel about it. I don't know who's all going to be available, but that's just how I feel about Jordan Love. And one thing that I would say about Kyler Murray is I would take Kyler Murray out, and then I would then put. Actually, I don't even know about Kyler. Kyler Murray's not even starting the season.
No, he's not.
He's coming in the middle. So why? So what pressure would be on Kyler Murray? Kyler Murray last year he didn't play amazingly, but the Arizona Cardinals were not that good. I would replace a guy like Kyler Murray with Jared Goff because I feel like he's gonna be under a decent amount of pressure as well because he's gonna be leading this Lions team that came back last year, finished really, really strong. Also drafted Hendon Hooker in the draft. I thought there's a decent amount of pressure on him as well. And Dak Prescott, I feel like Dak Prescott goes through pressure every year. I feel like, he's a quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys. I feel like there's a little bit of pressure on you.
Always. Nonstop. All right, Justin, where you at on this list, man? Would you move some people around? How do you feel like this list is?
Well, I'm gonna go from top to bottom. All right.
Okay.
So number one is gonna be Jordan Love for sure. They traded Aaron Rodgers, and Aaron Rodgers brought a lot of drama, a lot of chaos there at the last, the contracts and stuff like that. He has to prove to Green Bay that they made the right choice in trading Aaron Rodgers. All right. And he only has really one weapon, I think, and that's Aaron Jones, his running back. That's the only weapon he has. So he has to make something out of nothing. So Jordan Love, I think, is, and plus he hadn't played any games yet, so nobody knows anything about him. They hadn't seen him play in game situations yet. So I mean, yeah, tons of pressure on him. Yeah, Justin Fields, he had a great last season. He had a lot of weapons. He has to succeed on this right here. It's too much pressure on him. Absolutely. Daniel Jones, like y'all touched based on it, got a big contract. He has a lot of weapons. He should definitely just succeed this year. But if not, if he doesn't succeed this year, what are they going to do? I mean, they spent all that money on $85 million, what, a year, I think it was, or whatever it was. But I mean, he has to do something. Dak Prescott, all right. So, like y'all said, it's always pressure on Cowboys every single year. Doesn't matter what it is. But here's the thing. This is what I think. Now, Dak Prescott's contract's ending soon. I think the next year or two is about to end, and he's looking for extension. So it's that pressure on him to perform well, so he get extended in contract. But what I think is, within those 2 years, if they don't win NFC Championship or they don't go to a Super Bowl, I think Dak may be out. I think they may draft a QB somewhere or trade for a QB and then keep the train rolling. That's what I honestly think. And I think Kyle Murray should be out of that. I think there's tons of pressure on good old Russell Wilson. Man, he has a new coach, and that coach ain't going to take nothing from Russell Wilson. Oh, you want this luxury little office? You're not going to get that. Not while I'm here. No, screw that. So, I mean, because he sucked it up last year, and he needs to prove to everybody, hey, listen, I'm still that person y'all remember me from the Seahawks. All right, I'm still, that person that took my team to the Super Bowl. He didn't show last year. Is he going to show this year? We're gonna find out.
I like it. Yeah, hey man, that's a good one. Definitely.
Yeah, Russell Wilson's good.
Definitely, Russell Wilson is under a ton of pressure. He's under an absolute microscope, and Sean Payton will absolutely pull that man in a heartbeat. He ain't scared. He is not scared to move quarterbacks around for sure. So, moving on to our next topic. We all got strong opinions on this one, boys. So we were looking at Twitter, scrolling through Twitter, and I see ML Football puts up the QB power rankings, 1 to 32. If you haven't seen this, get on Twitter, go to ML Football. They've got this list. Man, there are some absolute gems in this list, for sure. Gideon, I'm going to start with you, man. What did you see on this list that kind of caught your eye, and where are you at on this list? How do you feel about it?
Yeah, this list is garbage. I guess I'm gonna start like this. Even as I feel like, and y'all two aren't even Seahawks fan, and you're like, wow, Geno's low. I'm like 19. So, and that's immediately what I look for. When you're a fan of a team, you immediately want to see where's your guy at. Now I'm scrolling. I'm like, wow, I still haven't seen my guy yet, and I'm going all the way down to 19 to find Geno Smith. Why is Tua in front of Geno Smith? Why is Daniel Jones in front of Geno Smith? I really can't. And those are the two. I think Jared Goff is Jared Goff also in front of Geno Smith.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So it's not even worth me even trying to explain this because I don't even need to explain to it. Numbers talk. Look at the numbers. Look at where Geno took this team last year. How is Tua? How is Tua? I'll be surprised if Tua couldn't tell you the full playbook right now. He can't remember. How is Tua in front of Geno Smith? I'll just leave it at that. The rest of the list is fine. You have your Patrick Mahomes up there. You have your Josh Allen's up there. You have your Joe Burrows up there. Rightfully so. Trevor Lawrence is a little too up there for me.
Yeah. 6. They got T. Lawrence at 6.
Yeah. 6 is a little wild to me. I saw him at 6. I was
they got Lamar under Trevor Lawrence.
See, that's where I'm kind of like, I'm
That's
like
aggressive. That's a hot
recently
take.
bias is really, really, really talking to Trevor Lawrence, and I don't even think Trevor Lawrence is I'm not like a hater on him. I think he is really good. I think he's obviously the best quarterback in that division. But 6,
That's aggressive.
1 away from the top 5 quarterback. I mean, I need to see Trevor Lawrence play like that for a whole season for me to be able to say 6. I feel like when he's at his best, yeah, he's up there. But already at 6, that's a little crazy. But yeah, that list is garbage.
Justin, where are you at on this list, man? What sticks out?
Who made this list? This is complete
ML
bullcrap.
football. I don't know, man.
ML football. Oh my goodness! Listen, this list is bogus. All right, put it nicely. It's bogus. All right. For one, Mac Jones above Geno. Come on now, really?
I didn't even touch Mac. I didn't talk about Mac.
Okay, yeah. So then we got. This is what kind of shocked me on this one here. Jalen Hurts is below Joe Burrow. Jalen Hurts just went to the Super Bowl. There ain't no way. That's ridiculous. But the one thing that kind of shook me as you got 2 rookies on here that is above 2 people already played in the NFL already. These cats right here, C.J. Stroud and Anthony Richardson, is better already than Sam Howell and Desmond Ridder. Now, don't get me wrong. Now, Howell and Ridder are not, awesome or anything like that, but they played in the NFL. Do you really think C.J. Stroud and Anthony Richardson is going to be that great? That they're at least a little bit great? That they're going to be above them? I don't think so.
I think so.
You think so?
Absolutely. Desmond Ridder and Sam Howell are nobodies. I mean, let's be honest. These guys are going to get benched midway through the season. I would put Will Levis over them. He's not even come out on the field.
I mean, I agree that they're not great, and they might get benched, but I don't know. They just started out, and I mean, just look at what Peyton Manning did on his rookie year. How many interceptions he threw? I'm not comparing Peyton Manning to these guys right here because these guys are way more athletic than him. But I'm pretty sure they can make something out of nothing. But I don't know. I don't think they're going to adapt to the NFL that quickly. Than these guys already have NFL experience. They may not be that much NFL experience, but at least it's some, and they're gonna make smarter choices and stuff like that. So,
yeah, I mean, I think that first off, how is Kyler Murray at 16? 16?
That I forgot about that. I forgot about Kyler Murray.
What the heck? You're telling me Kyler Murray's better than Justin Fields, Geno Smith, Derek Carr, what Jimmy G? No way, bro. You're not gonna tell me that. They got Jordan Love at 27. Wow. 27? How do you even know? How is the man in the basement? You never seen him play. That's incredible. This is the worst list I've ever seen in my life. But if you want to go see it, go to ML Football and tell them how terrible their list is. Because man, it was absolutely. We were about to fight each other over this list. It was crazy. So we're gonna move on, man. So we're gonna break down our team's divisions, and kind of give a rundown on the division, just a quick rundown, and then we're gonna kind of talk about where we feel like these teams are gonna finish. So I'm gonna start with Gideon. So NFC West, man, tell me how it plays out and where does each team finish at the end of the year?
I feel like with the NFC this year, I feel like we just got out of a long war. I feel like it's been this like constant war in this division of just top football team, amazing football teams. You got the 49ers that have been to the Super Bowl during this run. The Rams won a Super Bowl. The Cardinals have been pretty good. We've been pretty good. And I feel like we kind of outlasted some of these teams, and now's the time. The Rams have gotten significantly worse. Jalen Ramsey's no longer there. Matt Stafford, he doesn't even know if he wants to play anymore. Then you got the who else? You got the Cardinals. The Cardinals, they're kind of in that rebuilding phase where you don't know how they're really going to play. It's really just the 49ers that the Seahawks have to compete with. Me personally, I don't know if we're there yet to overtake the 49ers, but I feel like we're there to compete. I feel like there's a way that we get in the wild card this year again. I'll be realistic. I don't know if we have the firepower to compete with the 49ers this year. That's something I'm going to have to wait to see. But I feel like we reloaded and we've added more stuff in it and for us to compete with. And I think I still think I have the 49ers first. I have it as a close second.
It hurts your heart to say that, doesn't it?
It does. It
Yeah,
always
I
does.
know.
But
I know.
I'll be realistic.
Sorry,
Got
bud. Go ahead.
You got the Niners first. You got the Hawks too. And it's like, who cares? I mean, I guess the Cardinals could be a little bit better than the Rams, but I mean, as a Seahawks fan, there's nothing I like better than seeing the Rams at the bottom of the list. So I'll just throw them there at 4. But I think this is a close division. It's very top heavy. But yeah, I think some teams. I think the Cardinals will surprise people. I think they'll be a little bit better than how they're pictured to be. But I still think the Niners won us too.
Yeah, man, I'm right there with you, dude. That's exactly how I think this division is going to shake out. I think the 49ers are best team in the division, but I do think Seattle's right there with them. And I think, to be honest, this year's draft brought them closer.
Oh yeah,
Definitely. I mean, if they definitely brought them closer as far as receivers, and they're stacked at running back. Like Seattle's offenses, they definitely got the offensive firepower. I think your question is, how good is that defense? Is
yeah.
it good enough yet to play with the 49ers? If you can slow down that offense, you got a chance. So we'll see how that shakes out. But Justin, how do you feel about the NFC West?
Man, I think the top 2 teams and the bottom 2 teams are really far apart.
Yeah.
Okay.
Me
so,
too.
The Cardinals, I mean, you got your quarterback who wants to play video games all the time and he's hurt. And then you got a wide receiver that wants to get the heck out of there.
That's true.
So that Cardinals team is falling apart. I mean, they're going to be dead last. I don't think they're going to be 500. You know, they're not going to break even this year at all. So then you got LA Rams, like you said, that Stafford is, is he going to play? Is he not going to play? Is he going to retire? Does he have concussions all the time? Like what's going to happen there? Is Cooper Kupp going to, rise to what he did, a couple of years ago?
Yeah.
I mean, then you still got Aaron Donald, right? That he's there. The defensive player. I mean, he's still doing great. I mean, but is that enough? 49ers. Now listen, 49ers have a good offense. They have a good defense, I think. I just don't think that Brock is going to do the same thing he did last year at the end of
Well, they got 4 other quarterbacks, so they can just pick one at this point.
Might as well.
They need to. They need to pick somebody else because I don't think it's going to be the same way. I think Seattle's going to win the division. I think it's hands down. I think Geno's really good. They got a stacked offense. Their defense is is becoming better and better. So yeah, I think the Seattle's going to win, and Geno's going to have a great season this year. Sure.
I like it. Hot takes, boys, coming in hot. I mean, look, we got Justin picking your team over you. I like it.
I'm gonna give Justin some Seahawk merch at this point.
I'm telling you, he's ready, boys.
Whoa!
He's ready to jump on that bandwagon at a moment's notice. As soon as the Cowboys drop that 5th game, he's coming over, bro.
Oh man,
get him a Sean Alexander throwback jersey. He's ready, bro.
There you go.
So all right, so now we're gonna go to Justin's team's division. So we're gonna break down the NFC East now. So Justin, I'm gonna start with you, man. Where do you think the NFC? This one's gonna be an interesting one. How do you think this shakes out? And I want you to give me a top to bottom ranking on that division.
All right. Well, top to bottom. I'm gonna do bottom to top. All right. So let's do Commanders. Last one. Last place. They have a new owner. Yeah, they're gonna be competitive some games, but they're not gonna be 500 this year at all. I don't think. Then you got the Giants. All right, you got Daniel Jones, new contract. You got the big money.
Saquon Barkley.
But I mean, he may be holding out. I mean, he's trying to get that long-term deal. And I mean, if he doesn't get it by mid-July, then
you've never hoped for a holdout more in your life, have you?
Exactly, man. But I don't think Daniel Jones is going to be that guy to, I don't know, lead him to the second place in the division. I think their record is going to be like they're going to win like 8, 9 games, I think, and that's pretty sad because he has a pretty good offense too. Then, of course, got number 2. It's got to be the Eagles. All right, all right.
I mean, if the Cowboys are
They
14-3, somebody's
they
got to
are
think.
they are not going to the NFC Championship game. They're not going to make it that far. All right, they made some good picks on defense, but I think the offense is going to fall off this year. I think they're not going to gel like they did last year. And but I think the entire season is on Hurt's shoulders right now. That's what I think. And then of course you got the Cowboys, stacked offense, stacked defense. It's NFC Championship, worst Super Bowl or bust, hands down. There's tons of pressure on Dak, and so I got the Cowboys win our division. And how about them Cowboys?
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So I don't see it like that necessarily. My ranking, just real quick, I think Eagles are going to win that division. Obviously, I think they're far and away the best team in that division, and that's saying something because I think this is a very good division. I think the Giants are behind them. I think the Cowboys are probably going to finish in third, but I do think even in third place, they have an opportunity to get a wild card because I think all these teams are going to win a lot of games because you've got the NFC is so weak that any of this stuff that's out of your division that's in the NFC, you've got a chance to win it. I mean, so I definitely think that even you could, I think because now there's 3 wild card spots, I think the Cowboys can sit in third and still get a wild card. To be honest with you, I think they can win enough games for that. Because I think, like you said, the difference between the bottom of the NFC and the top of the NFC is vast. There's a huge gap there. I think there's a huge gap. And then I got Commanders coming in last. But I definitely think this is going to be an interesting division and a tough division. Gideon, where are you at on the NFC East, bro?
Yeah, I have it the same way that you have it. I have Eagles sitting at 1, Giants and Cowboys. It's kind of like I feel like it could be either or.
Could be a win. It's probably going to be a win in between them. Yep.
Yeah, that's I'm about to see that play throughout the season. Now the Commanders dead last. Great defense. Just like I really can't pick anything special about them on offense. They got Scary Terry. They got to go by receiver, but no quarterback. Maybe they got Lamar Jackson. Maybe this would be a different conversation, but they don't really have that much firepower on offense. But yeah, I think the Eagles are. I'm there with you too. I think the Eagles are a lot better. I feel like they reloaded once again during this offseason. And yeah, I have the Eagles on top.
I like it. So now we're going to go to my division. So going with the AFC South. So we got the Colts, the Jags, the Texans, and my Titans. So this division, I think, is going to sneaky be way more competitive than people think it's going to be. Because it seems like the national media just got the Jags running away with this bad boy and no problem. There'll be no competition for the Jags. Trevor Lawrence is everyone's media darling. He can do no wrong. I definitely think. I mean, the Jags have definitely made huge leaps and bounds. You saw them last year at the end of the year. Um, you saw them in that Chargers game in the playoffs. They actually had fans at the stadium. It was crazy. But they do got a weird schedule. They got 2 games overseas. They got a lot of stuff going on in their schedule. So I think it's going to be a lot closer than people think it is. And I do think the Titans are going to give them a run for their money in that division. But I still think the Jags probably finish in first. I put the Titans probably in second. And then I think the Colts and the Texans are going to be at the bottom. I personally think that Anthony Richardson's going to struggle this year. I think that it's too big of a jump for him in year one to expect him to like be that guy and just go out and win a bunch of games. I think he's probably going to make a ton of mistakes. He's got a lot to learn. Now, is he probably the best athlete? Oh, 100%. Dude's a monster. But I think this year he will struggle. And to be honest, I think CJ Stroud may do better than he does this year. And I think that the Texans want to play Stroud. So I got Texans 3, Colts 4. Just because I think now year 2 with Anthony Richardson probably going to be a whole different story. And I don't want to have to play this dude twice a year every season, but here we are. But I do think that this will kind of be where this division turns around and gets back in the conversation because now there's enough quarterbacks in this division. You've got a ton of young talent, and I think now it's going to probably bring this division back up. But this year is going to probably be a 8-9, yeah, 9 you know 9-7 or 9-8 type of year, and I feel like it's going to be somebody with 10 or 11 wins winning this division. So, um, Justin, where are you at on the AFC South?
Well, the Colts, I mean, they're gonna be my number 4 there. They're gonna be dead last just because they got a rookie QB, they got a new head coach, and also they lost one of the best cornerbacks in the league, and Stephon Gilmore. So I mean, they lost all that. They're gonna be dead last. I think the Texans with the rookie head QB, the new head coach, um, and also what's the head coach name? D'Amico
D'Amico
Ryan, is that
Ryans,
right?
yeah.
Yeah,
D'Amico Ryans, yep.
yeah. I think he's going to do really good this year. I think they're going to improve. And honestly, I think in 2 years with the new QB and D'Amico Ryan's, I think they're going to be in the playoffs in 2 years. Um, and also, I mean, they got the defensive tackle too. Was it Will, right?
Mm-hmm.
Williamson, yeah.
Yeah, Williamson Jr.
And then they got number 2. I got the Jaguars number 2. All right, I don't think Lawrence is going to have the same success he had last year.
These hot takes, bro. I'm here for him, bro. I'm here
but,
for him.
But I think Lawrence is going to dip. But in order for him to succeed, I think they got to improve on the running game though, because I didn't see much in the running game to me. Then you got the Tennessee Titans. Well, I think Derrick Henry, is going to have a highlight season this coming season. All right. Yes, last year he had a whole bunch of yards, a whole bunch of carries,
Like
all
every
stuff.
year.
But I think it's going to be a stiff arm season this coming season for Derrick Henry. And he's going to bust out those long runs like he did a couple of years back. Now, yet again, I already said this before, Tannehill is going to get benched. Will Levis is going to replace him. Will Levis is going to replace him.
I take it back. I
And
don't like your
Will
hot takes.
Levis,
Your hot takes are ridiculous.
Will Levis is going to bring the energy that the Titans need. And he's going to hook up with Burks a lot for the Titans to go to the playoffs. But I got the Titans as number 1 in that vision.
It's a bold strategy. Number 1 with Will Levis.
Also, you got was it Mike Vrabel, right?
Yep.
A no nonsense guy. Have you seen the training videos coming out of the Nissan Stadium?
I'm not gonna lie, I get nervous about him every time. Yes, I have seen them.
Oh man, they're rough. I mean, he's rough on them.
I know. I'm trying to see how many more ACLs we can tear before the season starts.
It's gonna be tough. They got some tough players there. They
need to chill. They need to chill.
What was that? Sledding, I think it was, or something like that. They make them do.
Oh yeah, the sled. Yep.
Yeah, you can see people just throwing up and everything. It was wild.
All right, Gideon, where you at on the AFC South, bro?
Yeah, this division is pathetic. I mean, I guess I'll just start. I got the Jags at 1. I feel like the Jags are probably the best team. I'll guess. I mean, I can't even hype this division. It's just bad. I mean, I watched it for years. It's be terrible. So the Jags, I guess, 1. In my opinion, they're the best quarterback in the division by far. I feel like we saw what they could do last year. They got to the playoffs, beat the Chargers in the playoffs. I mean, they did pretty good. I feel like this year, I feel like they're going to improve on that aspect and carry on winning the division probably for years to come. At 2, I got the Colts. And I don't know if that's crazy to say the Colts at 2. In my opinion, it's not. I feel like Anthony Richardson and Jonathan Taylor is only that's a recipe for success, in my opinion. I feel like that Colts offense is going to be very good. I feel like the Colts defense has usually been pretty good. I got the Colts at 2. I got the Titans at 3. I just don't I'm trying to think of the word to say. I just don't think they have improved that much from last season. I feel like they've only gotten worse. I don't think Ryan Tannehill is that good of a quarterback. We'll see what Will Levis is. I think the years of the Titans being the top dog in that division or even competing in that division is over. And then I got Texans dead last. The Texans, besides the getting C.J. Stroud, getting Will Anderson Jr. in the draft, this team is still a dog. It's not very good. So that's my run down the AFC South. It's just it's not a very good division.
All right. I mean, there's a lot of hate going on there. There's a lot of hate. I think anytime you got Derrick Henry, you got a chance. Definitely to be better than third, but I'm here for it. I'm here for the hate. I'm here for the haters. I can't wait for the season to start. All right, boys. So we're moving on. NBA. We're almost to the end of this thing. So the Nuggets are waiting. They finished off the Lakers. Even though Braun had 31 at half and absolutely did everything humanly possible to win, they could not pull it out because, like we said, Jokic is just too freaking good. The Nuggets are too freaking good. So now they're in the waiting room trying to figure out who's going to play them. So Celtics Heat at 3-1 right now. I guess the question is, does it matter who even wins this series? Because can either one of these teams compete with the Nuggets? Gideon, I'm coming to you. Can the Heat or the Celtics compete with the Nuggets?
Oh yeah, the Heat are gonna get done today, and they're gonna beat the Nuggets in the finals, and that's how I feel about it. I've said this multiple times on the podcast. Jimmy Butler is the best player in the playoffs, and now is having conversation for the best player in the NBA. I've always been high on Jimmy Butler, and I feel like this team, Bam Adebayo, Duncan Robinson coming off the bench, they have so many people on this team that I feel like they can. First, they got to beat the Celtics, which I think they'll get done tonight. Then I think they'll move on to the Nuggets. And then the Nuggets are, I mean, watching that Lakers game, I mean, oh my goodness. The Lakers,
best team in the NBA.
The Lakers tried absolutely everything. Braun is putting up GOAT status stats.
Monster numbers.
And he can't get it done. I feel like the Heat are a better team than the Lakers. That's the only reason I think they'll be able to compete. But yeah, I think the Heat get it done tonight, and I think they go on to face the Nuggets. I think they get it done in 7.
That's insane. Justin, where are you at on this?
Man, the Heat are freaking awesome, I do have to say. Will they get it done tonight? I'm not sure. I don't know. I think the Celtics may do a little comeback. I'm not sure. But Jimmy Buckets, though, man, that is legit. He also got, what's the dude's name? Martin. Martin, he's the undrafted player. That correct?
Yeah.
He showed out in the last couple of games.
He's injured. He's out tonight, actually.
Yeah, man. He's stout, man. I like him. He brings a lot of energy to that Heat offense. Now, is anybody going to beat the Nuggets? I don't think so. I think that's a little too. They're a little too strong team, man. That's all it is. They're really strong. The Joker beat the King, swept the King underneath the table, and said, "Hey, man, just go ahead and retire, bro. All right, I got this." That's what he's saying to him. And of course, whoever the Joker's accent is, of course. But he's sitting there just sweeping away, and it's hilarious and it's awesome. And so I got a question for y'all. Is LeBron James going to retire? He said he was thinking about it.
That's a good question. I don't think there's any way in the world he retires.
Probably
He's
not.
playing with Bronny, bro. He's already said it. He's literally said that's his whole purpose to stay in the league.
I mean,
He's
he got-
playing a
he got
season with
swept.
Bronny.
He got swept.
It don't matter.
We don't care. I'll say it this way. Maybe the Lakers aren't the answer, but he's not retiring. He wants to play with Bronny. He's made that very clear.
Dude, have you not seen all the there's so much chatter of Braun going to the Warriors.
Oh gosh.
Holy crap.
I'll say this, that's not crazy to me because
No, it's not.
Because I feel
that team would be ridiculous.
I feel like he stays in California because Bronny is playing at USC.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't even know how people are even. I guess because LeBron said it himself. There's no way he's not playing with Bronny. That's the only way. That's the only reason he's here. He wants to play at least one season with his son.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. He's not going nowhere. He's playing with Bronny
But
for sure.
but him at Golden State, man.
Yeah.
That's
I
tough.
That's
don't
the
know how
team
they
right
get
there.
that done. I don't know how they get that done though.
Well, I saw it now. I saw Cowherd put up a trade, and it was like Poole and 2 other players for Braun, and it made sense. I was
If
like,
LeBron wants to
"That's
go there, he'll go there.
yeah," and they'll win a title, 100%. That would be insane. You tell
Man, that
me
would be
Clay,
crazy.
you got Clay, Braun, Steph all on the floor at the same time, bro. Check it.
Mhm.
Legacy title over. Call it. If that cat goes to the Warriors, it's over. So we got one more topic here, boys, and then we're gonna wrap this pod up. But so me and Gideon were talking about this. So in the world of MMA and boxing, Tyson Fury and John Jones have been absolutely talking some mad trash to each other. Tyson Fury's talking about if he's in a room with John Jones, John's not coming out. Like all this crazy crap to where Dana White's involved talking about y'all name the match, we'll make it happen. Like what? First off, Gideon, you're our fight expert. Why in the world does Tyson Fury feel like he has a shot in anywhere in the universe against John Jones? Explain it to me.
I'll say this: Tyson Fury is an amazing boxer. He's a generational boxer. He's probably the best boxer right now, pound for pound. John Jones kills him. Like literally, John Jones would murder Tyson Fury if they're locked in a room together. I guess I'll say like this: does Tyson Fury probably beat John Jones in a boxing match? Yeah, probably. The things John Jones would do to him in an MMA setting would be there's nothing that Tyson Fury could do from John Jones taking him down to the ground. There's nothing that he could do.
No.
And John Jones, and I'll say that this is the difference between MMA and boxing. John Jones is facing the best of the best when he steps into the octagon. Tyson Fury is picking people that make him look good. Tyson Fury hasn't tested himself in years. John Jones just tested himself by going up to the heavyweight division and then winning the championship. There is absolutely no way if these guys met outside on a bar or wherever they meet that John Jones doesn't kill Tyson Fury.
Bro, he's definitely catching a charge. 100%. Whatever happens, he's catching a charge.
Yeah.
It's definitely assault. Something's happened. He's going to need an ambulance. It's over. Justin, where you at on this, bro?
Dude, I have to agree with Gideon. I mean, all depends where the setting's going to be. Is it going to be a boxing match? Is it going to be an MMA match? What's it going to be? Is it an MMA match? John Jones, hands down, is going to sit there and break his arm. All right, may break the other arm too while he's at it, just for fun. All right, if it's and make sure that he won't freaking box no more. Okay, so I mean, Tyson is going to be a boxing match. Yeah, Tyson Fury is going to win. Okay? He's a professional in boxing. But I mean, Tyson Fury he talks a lot. He talks a lot. And if he steps in that octagon with John Jones, bye Tyson Fury, then he has nothing left to say. What's he gonna say? Oh, he poked me in the eye like he did DC, you know? I don't know. But no, John Jones, hands down, is going to murder, like Gideon said, it's gonna murder this dude. The Tyson Fury just needs to sit down and shut up.
I agree. I think collectively we just need to tell Tyson to chill.
Yeah.
Stop talking trash. Because
Yeah.
if Jones meets you on the street, it's over, dude. You're done.
Yeah.
Quit tripping. That's all we have for this podcast. Like, subscribe, tell your friends and family. Again, thanks a lot for all the likes and comments.
Yeah.
Keep commenting, keep liking. Throw questions in there, and we'll answer them on the next one, and we will catch you guys on the next one. Peace.